in Denmark, we claim we have the guy who made Elvis great again, and with no comparison to the president, right? But we still think that when he came back in the, or not didn't come back, but when he came into the Elvis world in the late 80s, he changed everything. He changed the way people are looking at Elvis. And he was here not long ago, but he's just here for visiting for a few minutes. So would you please give a warm welcome to Ernst Jorgensen. So no. So and Ernst is actually just on his way home. Can you say that? Actually, on your way home to your Ernst Jorgensen mansion.
I'm on the way home back to see, what happened in the storm. It could be damage.
Yeah.
But, well, thanks. It's good to see you. Henrik has said that I should talk about the new film. And you can ask questions about the new films. I can answer most of them. There's some that's not for me to talk about, but let's give it a shot. As you know, the film's called EPiC. It premiered at the Toronto Film Festival on September 6th, and I've never seen any reviews of anything as great as those reviews. They talk about it as reinventing Elvis, and we've never seen him like this before, which is not true, of course, because you know what he looked like, and that's the way it is in Elvis on tour, but that is where we have the footage from. But it's more than that. When we had dug out all the footage that nobody's seen and transferred it to digital, my idea was, of course, just to release it. I mean, I know Elvis fans, and they're very easy to deal with. They're modest people. They want two things. Everything, yes, and what's the other one? It's now. So along those lines, I was dreaming, but when you have a man like Baz Luhrmann involved, one of the world's greatest film directors, whether you like him or not, obviously he knows more about making films than I do, and he said we desperately need the basic idea so we can get away with doing this, and that came from the interview that most of you probably know that was made for Elvis on tour. It wasn't used very much, but there was like 45 minutes of Elvis talking, and then that became the guiding light for how to develop it. So Elvis would talk about himself, his life, his career, the ups, the downs, how he worked with his band, what music meant to him, what religious music meant. And while Baz was busy doing something else, Jonathan Redmond, who is his film editor, and I and a few others, we had to assemble all these bits and pieces. So when Elvis talked about his childhood, we'd have footage to cover that, and when he broke through and people protested the way he acted, we had footage of that, and same about religious music. We had to cover little stories, create them to go with when Elvis talked, and then obviously everything Elvis was Elvis singing is Elvis rehearsing, for that's the way it is, and you see him. It's quite lovely. He's sitting a bit like this, doing like this, and he starts to sing Yesterday, which we haven't seen before, and he sings George Harrison's Something. He sits on a chair with a guitar, having fun, playing Ghost Riders in the Sky, a few lines of Eliana Rancho Grande, and stuff that will, you will freak out when you see it. It's unbelievable. It's charming. You know, of course, what to expect because you've seen that's the way it is. So it's more of the same, yes. Same for the live stuff. From Elvis on tour, we found so much rehearsal material that it was so easy to pick up. Like we used some from Burning Love to see him, we see him on stage where he jokes about he doesn't know the song, which to some extent he does, but his drummer doesn't. And Elvis points that out. But we also see him at 3 different rehearsals doing Burning Love. So you go like, and all of that is, of course, not exactly what you want. Going back to, we want everything, so we don't want you to do fancy editing. But we're making this movie again to continue with what I think Baz Luhrmann has done for Elvis. He's made him respectable again, and this film will definitely get people who say, I don't like Elvis, oh, he was this, that, and the other, whatever people didn't like about Elvis, they're gonna go back and look, holy, he's fantastic. And I think all of you will have to go in, book a week at the cinema nearest to you, and go every night for a week, because it's that great. And it's not because I was involved, it's because what Baz has done for this. It's totally exciting. And there's a lot to look forward to. I don't know when it's coming out, because when Baz did that first Elvis movies, it was on big Warner Brothers money. I can't remember, $100 million or something. And Warner's took a gamble on that, but the money came back manyfold over. It was an enormous success, but it was also an enormous success for all of us who love Elvis, because it made him suddenly respectable, interesting, and very likable. After Baz Luhrmann's movie, in spite of all the tough stuff that's in there, people liked Elvis a lot more. When they see this, they're gonna love him. But we had very little money to do it, but sometimes it's like that. And when you do it that way, we didn't have a budget, a big budget to do this, so you know, we had to save every penny we could. But you can't see that in that movie. It's spectacular, but it needs to be sold to somebody who distributes it. But that's the way the money comes in for this. So we are now talking to film companies, Netflix, Amazon, all of these companies that will either stream it or show it somewhere. The main idea is that the biggest thrill you can get from this is if you see it in your IMAX cinema on the widest screen with the biggest speakers you can get, because that will make it that total overwhelming experience that I think you will like, although you don't get everything. Sorry. Maybe next time. Thanks for lending me in here. Had a great time.
Yeah. Anybody have a question before? Yeah. From Norway.
Yeah. What about the sound from the 13th midnight and 14th dinner and midnight?
Pardon, from the what?
The sound from the songs from 1970 August. The 14th midnight and dinner and 13th midnight. Is the sound found?
We don't have 14th. We have a little bit of footage of him on the stage, but we don't have him singing.
Not sound?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's about.
What did he sing on the 14th?
14th midnight.
Oh, Happy Day?
Oh, Happy Day, or 14th dinner, he sings.
Well, we have a great Oh Happy Day in the
Yeah,
film.
I know.
Which I think you've
14th
seen on...
dinner, he sings Katukolan, Happy Birthday, but not the normal version. He sings the 58 version. But you know the home recording?
I mean,
Happy Birthday, baby?
yeah, but I don't... I know it, but actually there's one thing I need to say to you. There's a lot of people, and I won't mention any of them by name, who go out and say, oh, and there's all this footage. What they're telling you is not accurate. There's suddenly 6 Elvis on tour shows. No, there's no 6 Elvis on tour shows. There are the 4 we know. And it's, oh, everything was film complete. No, it wasn't film complete. So those kind of disappointments, which brings me to another thing that I want to mention. We found all this footage. We found what I was sure was there, because I'd worked on, that's the way it is, back in 2001. But we also found a lot of stuff we didn't know was there.
Yeah.
But we also found out that something has gone
Yeah.
missing.
also on the 13th dinner show.
Pardon?
On the 13th dinner show, August 1970, he sang Santa Claus is Back in Town in live, you know.
No, I don't know that, but this, no, we haven't found anything like
No,
that.
I just wondered if there was sound that found
No.
somewhere, you know, so we can read it on CD.
There was quite a long period of time where MGM couldn't even find the sound to this, so
Yeah.
that was critical days.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just throw. What was the most, if you can reveal it, from all the footage? What's blew your mind the most of everything we can expect to see?
There's several things. I mean, I tried to tell you about the yesterday thing, which is from the rehearsals, you know, those rehearsals. But it's as if you see Elvis caught in a private moment, that he's actually sitting there singing to himself. And he looks so, sounds funny for a man to say that, but he looks so unbearably beautiful. It's like, wow. And if we go to the more fun parts, there's a piece, and this is where hearts get broken, is when you find something, and there's 9 seconds of it. We have, maybe there's 14 seconds, but we see Elvis sitting with a guitar on a chair, again from MGM rehearsals, screaming out of his lungs, da 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 da, like he's singing that Mexican song. He's singing that where there are no words, and he just looks like he's completely lost in it. And there's a piece where you see him from behind. He's sitting on a chair, and he's ending a song, and we have put it with the song, but whether it's that song or not. But you see him, and he's going completely nuts, sitting like this, and you think, what the hell's going on? Is he losing it? And you will smile when you see it. But there's other stuff. There's stuff you've seen before, but which has been edited differently. So it seems new, but there was certain things that we couldn't leave out, although they'd been seen before. And then there's, of course, the list of everything that went out when the movie was 2.5 hours long, and we had to cut it down. And that was a lot of heartbreak. And if you take that one out, that's the one I love, then we have to take yours out. And it went on forever on them. So as Lemon lost Proud Mary, I lost a lot more than that.
Have you ever considered having 50 people sitting right behind you when you're working? Because I think we are 50 here that are volunteering. If you need 50 people sitting behind and just point out a little bit and give you some directions, not that you need it, but you know, for us to be able to see what you have seen.
Well, the interesting thing is, if you had 50 people sitting back there helping you, it would actually be better. That is not very practical.
No, it's not. But I know a group that will volunteer, right? Is somebody who... No, okay. Anyway, yeah, let's do a few more, but Ernst has a meeting. Yeah, let's start with Julie.
Hiya. It premiered, well, it was shown in Toronto and last night in Switzerland.
Yeah, I don't remember the date in Zurich.
Yeah, I think it might have been last night it was shown. Yeah. Is there any more plans, do you know, of any European previews?
No, I think there's an Australian one, but that's a bit far to go, of course.
Yeah, a shame. Okay.
And I'm still hoping that we can. I know that what's his name in Memphis, Joe Weinshanger, has said that in his ideal world, it could be premiered on Elvis' birthday in January, which is kind of sentimental, but it doesn't make much sense. In that when we get to January 8th, we have no money, we're depressed, and it's damn cold, so we're not going anywhere. And it's easy actually if we could get it into cinemas before Christmas, because people have a different attitude to everything. But I don't know that, and it's...
Yeah,
I don't
we're
even
ready
think...
to fly anywhere, but not Australia.
It's a long flight.
And Håkon, you had one? And you had another one?
No.
Are you? No. You said you have questions, and you said no. Anybody? Please give Ernst a big hand. Thank you, Ernst, for stopping by here. I know you have a busy schedule, but thank you for coming by. And not only that, thank you for everything you're doing. Ernst Jorgensen.